Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking the absolute latest AI architecture blueprints and translating them into a high-stakes, strategic roadmap for your business. For the last couple of years, we've all been sold this idea of AI as well, honestly, a pretty forgetful basic assistant. But today, that completely changes. We're moving far beyond temporary chat windows. We're talking about transforming AI into a core, compounding cognitive asset for your entire enterprise. And before we even glance at the agenda, we really need to shatter the illusion of the God prompt and its massive digital graveyard of useless text hacks. If you or maybe your team have spent countless hours typing instructions like, act as an expert copywriter, or playing with complex formatting tricks, or literally begging your AI to take a deep breath, well, we've all been there. But I've got some news for you. Prompt engineering, at least as you know it, is dead. All of those frantic prompt hacking techniques completely rendered obsolete by a massive software shift towards systems that actually possess a self-improving memory graph. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll quickly cover 1. The end of prompt engineering. 2. The shift to context engineering. 3. The employee manual analogy. 4. The 5 steps to manage context. 5. Compounding professional corporate assets. And finally, 6. Your enterprise AGI roadmap. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Section 1, the end of prompt engineering. Think about legacy prompt engineering like giving incredibly complex instructions to a goldfish on a sticky note. The second you close that chat window, the sticky note is tossed out, your data is completely gone, and you're forced to start from scratch the very next morning. Modern context engineering, though, it's a whole different ballgame. It's like building an ever-growing corporate hard drive. We're talking about building programmatic custom skills that retain permanent memory. You teach the system to handle a complex task exactly once, and thanks to its self-improving memory graph, it becomes this permanent, highly reliable capability that literally never forgets. Which brings us right to Section 2. Welcome to context engineering. Instead of dumping every possible instruction into a single, massive, chaotic prompt, this is all about architecting a complete ecosystem for the AI using vendor stacks like LangChain or Anthropic. Context engineering means you are literally designing the environment the agent thinks inside of. You're managing for 5 strict criteria here. Relevance, does it actually matter? Sufficiency, is it enough information? Isolation, is it sharply focused? Economy, are we avoiding completely overloading the system? And provenance, can we trace exactly where this data came from? Make no mistake, this is a highly sophisticated engineering discipline now, not a creative writing exercise. Moving on to Section 3. The employee manual analogy. Think about it like this. You wouldn't bark highly specific, repetitive orders at a human employee every single day, right? Instead, you hand them a comprehensive manual so they understand the exact environment they're operating in. And for AI, this manual has 5 specific layers. First up, you have the meta context, which basically sets the identity and tone. Then, operational, which dictates the current task and the exact tools they're allowed to use. Third is domain, where you load in specific business rules, like, say, financial regulations. Fourth is historical, pulling directly from your organizational wiki and context graph. And lastly, environmental, feeding in live market data and real-time context. So instead of cramming all of this into a messy text prompt every single morning, these layers feed selectively into the agent. It gives you an AI that actually understands your business from day one. Next up, Section 4, 5 steps to manage context. Now, to actually make this manual work, business leaders have to tightly govern the information lifecycle, which is basically the digestive system of the AI. It comes down to exactly 5 steps. First, selection, deciding what data actually matters to the specific task. Second, retrieval, pulling that data super efficiently from your systems. Third, compression, distilling it down so the AI doesn't get overwhelmed, maintaining that economy we talked about. Fourth, evaluation, constantly checking the quality and the feedback signals. And finally, refresh, keeping your context graph completely updated. This lifecycle right here is the true beating heart of context engineering. This leads us into Section 5, compounding professional corporate assets. Let's look at a quick productivity showdown. You've got person A, who is stuck using a vanilla out-of-the-box model. They're typing out endless instructions, wasting hours debugging basic errors. It's incredibly frustrating and just deeply inefficient. But then look at person B. They are leveraging a specialized cognitive infrastructure, like a Perplexity Brain model, that sits perfectly between their unique data sources and the language model. Because it's already pre-trained on their specific operational history, person B's agent executes massive, complex tasks instantly. No constant hand-holding required. Now, that number 6 right there, That represents just 6 months of specific operational history needed to train a Perplexity Brain model to turn your interaction history into a compounding professional asset. Just think about the sheer magnitude of that. Your unique interaction history at your company is no longer just temporary chat data destined for the trash bin. The more refined choices you make, the more specialized your personal cognitive infrastructure becomes. In just half a year, you build a compounding corporate asset that absolutely crushes any vanilla model out there. Every single interaction literally makes your company smarter. Let's see how this plays out in practice. Notice how a super simple input triggers a massive chain reaction before anyone even has to ask. Imagine a team member casually mentions a company name in a shared workspace. Instantly, the system's multimodal pipeline takes over, kind of like an automated assembly line for your data. It automatically queries your internal Snowflake data warehouse, seamlessly cross-references it with live Reddit sentiment mining, and boom, the result is a fully structured, automated Slack brief. You build this execution asset once, and it pays massive productivity dividends forever. And finally, Section 6, your enterprise AGI roadmap. With brains sitting between your data sources and the LLM, it routes only the relevant slices of the context graph to specialized agents using something called context inheritance. So you have a central context orchestrator. It surveys the whole graph and hands out highly precise assignments. The researcher agent gets exactly the slice it needs, like live market data. The compliance officer agent inherits just the internal policy specs, and the risk analyst agent gets fed historical mistakes so it knows exactly what red flags to watch out for. Each agent gets just enough history to think effectively, completely avoiding the confusion of those massive old-school mega prompts. By stacking context engineering, intent engineering, and specification engineering together, enterprises like our imagined Sigma Bank are laying the vital scaffolding for a proactive corporate multi-agent architecture. And this isn't just theory anymore, folks. This is a full-blown AI operating system. They're running 3 to 5 tools seamlessly across the context graph, utilizing precise metadata and continuous evaluation to govern this entire multi-agent layer. We are literally replacing scattered, disconnected software with a unified, highly intelligent corporate brain. So, as we look at the glowing network of this cognitive infrastructure, we really have to ask ourselves a world-changing question about the true destination of our work week. If context is the new operating system, what does it mean to build an AGI-ready infrastructure on top of it? Because we aren't just making emails easier to write anymore. We are laying the tracks for a proactive, autonomous workforce right inside our corporate offices. It's a massive structural shift. The only question left is, will your company's interaction history end up in the digital trash bin, or will you step up and turn it into your most valuable compounding asset? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this strategic roadmap helps you navigate the incredibly exciting transition ahead.